Bro, what is this? This has to be like the goofiest rocket pass they've ever dropped. Like, what are you doing? You're telling me Psyonix created these rewards, sent them in to be approved, got a second opinion on the rewards, and still released them? When I laid my eyes on this atrocity, it got me thinking, man, when was the last time I actually was excited for any Rocket League update or new items? Every single update since free-to-play, it just feels like absolutely nothing changes between seasons. And every season since season 1 of free play has kind of been a blur. I remember when I first started playing Rocket League all the way back in 2016. Every single update was a momentous occasion. DLC cars like the Batmobile and the DeLorean were some of the most incredible updates ever because it was first of its kind. But ever since then, I literally cannot keep track of all the cars that have been released. Every single update makes me more and more frustrated with the direction the game seems to be taking. I mean, I've literally played this game for almost a third of my life, and to see it stagnating like this really pains me. Which brings me to the topic of this video. Quite frankly, Rocket League isn't changing. I mean, with how competitive Rocket League as a game is, it's really hard to change anything. If you change the base mechanics of the game, like how much boost you have, or like adding guns to the game or something, you're gonna end up alienating pretty much the entire player base who has dedicated all their time to playing under one specific set of rules and mechanics. Of course, new mechanics may pop up from time to time like the flip reset or the Fetlix jump, but for pretty much all the player base, these mechanics just don't really matter. I mean, you're just not gonna see gold players double flip resetting to clip in their game, so for most players, the game has pretty much stayed the same for 6 years. Even for me, as a diehard player and content creator for this game, I just don't get hype anymore for new updates or seasons. I mean, what would be the point of getting excited for me having to redo my ranked placements so I can play for an entire season to unlock the same cycle of rewards we get every season? What new content is even added to the game except for surface level items and whatever this is? Every single update has felt exactly the same to me for the past 4 or 5 seasons, and right now, it's really hard for me to foresee a future where I get hyped for any updates. And the reason for that is because we basically get no communication from Epic Games or Psyonix about their plans with this game. I mean, are we just gonna keep having the same cycle of meh rewards, okay tournament rewards, and the endless mind cancer that is ranked Rocket League? I just don't want that for this game, and I truly believe this game could be bigger and better than ever. Now, obviously, I'm not just trying to slander Psyonix or Epic Games the entire video. I mean, they were able to make one of the best competitive games of all time, and spread it to a much larger audience than most players ever thought possible. However, I'm here to talk about some problems the game currently has, and what I think are some good solutions to make the game so much more appealing to a wider audience and to appease current players like myself. Now, in order to see some of the glaring problems Rocket League truly has right now, let's look at another Epic-owned game, Fortnite. Fortnite started off its popularity as a battle royale game that you could play with your friends, and the fact that it was fun, competitive, free to play, and easy to pick up meant it would skyrocket in popularity. I mean, I even switched from Rocket League to Fortnite for about a year because I just enjoyed it so much. I would literally sprint home from the bus after school just so I could get on quicker and grind out games with my friends. The replayability was absolutely insane because the map was huge and there were so many places to explore, and a decent enough skill curve so I actually wanted to get better at the game. However, leading into about Season 3 or Season 4 of Fortnite, many players, including myself, started to slowly play less and less. The reason being, the game started to get too competitive and the game felt stale. Sound familiar? A lot of the traits that caused Fortnite to fall off from its once insane player base are being seen in Rocket League right now. For a lot of the more devoted players to this game who have spent hundreds or even thousands of hours playing this game, we are in desperate need of some new ways to play Rocket League. I'm not saying I don't love the competitive aspect of Rocket League, I mean, that's literally the point of the game. I love getting better and improving my abilities, but, you know, it gets boring after a while. The random limited time game modes periodically spread out throughout each season just don't do it for me, to be honest. As consistent players, we need to be able to have other options inside the game that don't just involve subjecting yourself to the mental torture that is ranked Rocket League. Also, because Rocket League is so competitively oriented and hard to pick up, it's a lot more difficult to get newer players to start playing the game and wanting to continue. If you're a new player, the incentive to play the game really just comes from wanting to get better at the game, because the season rewards are really just so mid, and there's really no other option Rocket League has for players to just relax and play more casually. you're pretty much forced to just play super competitively and grind out games, or just switch to a different game. This means Rocket League is basically stuck at the point where if they don't change things up, newer players will really not have a reason to pick up the game if they haven't already, and consistent players will have less of a reason to keep coming back. Now, back to Fortnite. What is one of the biggest things that has carried Fortnite past its peak so they still manage to be one of the biggest games in the world? Alley A. It's creative mode. I mean, the fact that there's a game mode in Fortnite that allows the community to build maps for others to play and mess around in physically pains me as a Rocket League player. The closest thing Rocket League has right now to anything like this is workshop maps, which is only accessible via an outside download in the Steam community tab on one console. If you're on Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch, I mean, sucks, I guess. You gotta play extra modes or something. Besides the basic competitive game modes and the same 4 extra game modes that get stale after like 10 games, you really have nothing. The idea of involving the community in the process of creating fun game modes for themselves just seems too smart not to do. Imagine if Rocket League had the option to create your own custom maps in the game, and the ability to easily invite your friends to play with you in maps like Sumo, Rocket League Volleyball, parkour maps, or so many other maps that could easily be created by the community. Rocket League would easily see a much greater increase in the amount of active players per month, and players would be willing to stick around for much longer, since there would constantly be new content added to the game by the community. However, Rocket League has admitted that implementing this just simply isn't possible with the engine the game currently runs on. Basically, Rocket League was built using Unreal Engine 3, which happens to be the same engine that games like Borderlands 2, made in 2012, Batman Arkham City, made in 2011, and Gears of War, made in 2006 run on. Obviously, what Rocket League runs on right now is super outdated, so it makes sense why there hasn't been an active push to try and implement this feature in right now. About 9 months ago, however, it was leaked that Rocket League is actually making the push to try and move this game to run on Unreal Engine 5, which could be absolutely huge for the game. This is literally the same engine used by Fortnite. This could easily allow for the implementation of a creative mode or map maker, and they literally have the blueprint already there with Fortnite's map builder. However, the bigger question is when and will they even make that effort to try and improve the game? I mean, why would they? It would make them more money to keep releasing a new low-effort Rocket Pass every season and DLC cars every month. Why would they put in that extra effort to truly make the game better and more enjoyable for players when they could just make more money in the short term selling $20 in-game Lamborghinis? Well, this isn't just a problem that applies to Rocket League, but the gaming space as a whole. Many game developers are pushed to get consistent gains in profit every year. So instead of doing what would be best for the game in the long term, they're forced to push out these low quality cash grabs in order to keep the money flowing for investors and owners. This is by far the biggest problem Rocket League as a game has. This is why you see terrible Rocket Passes that look absolutely atrocious. Like, come on, you gotta be a psychopath to actually equip these. And why you see so many cars being released every single day, it feels like. It seems to be that this effort to push for higher profits instead of a quality game that people can actually enjoy is one that Rocket League seems to be shifting towards. Unless Rocket League takes that big step to focus on the quality of the experience first, like adding more features for the communities to mess around with, better quality Rocket Passes, more sporadic DLC so they actually mean something, and just generally taking more input from the community for features they want, we might just end up seeing these same blended together seasons until Rocket League eventually dies off. Now, I'm not trying to scare you with what I've said so far, that was kinda like a worst case scenario, and I do believe that Psyonix and Epic genuinely care about this community and will take steps to make sure that the Rocket League experience is more enjoyable for all players. There is definitely some hope for this game, with the move to Unreal Engine 5 posing some big possibilities for future growth. However, I just basically wanted to make this video to get some frustrations I had with this game off my chest, because I do truly want to see this game succeed and continue to grow. If you guys watched till the end and agree with what I had to say, then make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and share it around because it helps me out and it can help draw more attention to these issues in Rocket League. But, yeah.
Team prosper, we can't lose. They try and hit my line looking for the clues. I'm hating snooze, niggas bad.